Hi everyone, this is NewToCryptocurrency and I am back with another video. Today is the third video in my brief and informal series about gambling strategies that can be utilized with cryptocurrency. So again, the major use case of gambling strategies is in the context of mining tokens. So not tokens like CoinPot, but certain cryptocurrencies will have additional currencies that are run on their blockchain. Ethereum, for example, has its own blockchain, and there are other cryptocurrencies that run on Ethereum's blockchain rather than having their own blockchains. Any cryptocurrency that runs on another cryptocurrency's blockchain is called a token and not a coin. So Ethereum is a coin, Bitcoin is a coin, Tron is a coin, but if it has to run on another cryptocurrency's blockchain, then it's called a token. Okay, so and then eventually sometimes tokens can evolve into they can switch and get their own blockchain later. Like that's what Tron did. It started out as an ERC20 token, so one of Ethereum's tokens on the Ethereum blockchain, and then later it got its own. Did its own thing, it got its own blockchain. The important thing about tokens is that for certain decentralized applications, or DApps, or dApps that's how I say it, if you freeze them on certain sites, you can earn dividends based on the traffic that site is getting. So just by freezing dApps, they're going to pay you in cryptocurrency for doing absolutely nothing. Of course, you got to work to get the tokens that you use to freeze, but once they're frozen, they're earning you money as long as that dApp is alive. So that's an awesome way to earn passive income for cryptocurrency. I will get into that later. I promise I will tell you which cryptocurrencies I do with those. I will tell you all of that. This is just a simple strategy for that. Now, we're using these gambling strategies in order to minimize our losses as the average case scenario, or in the best case scenario, maybe win. But again, we don't need to win. We're just needing to minimize our losses. And in the process of using these strategies, we are mining tokens, because most of the time it's like a certain amount of cryptocurrency that you put in gets you a certain amount of tokens, regardless of whether you win or lose. So if I bet 100 Satoshi, I might get 1 token or 2 tokens. So even if I win, if I win, I get to keep the 100 Satoshis plus those tokens. If I lose, I get to keep those tokens, but my 100 Satoshis gone. We're using the strategy I'm going to show you today to make it so I lose as little as possible, or maybe in brief sessions, I actually win some of the Satoshi. And then in addition to that, in that process, I've also won a whole bunch of tokens, which I can then freeze. So that's the use case for these gambling strategies, okay? Now, just using them on their own, like I'm going to do today, is not a very good idea in the long term. Even though these strategies I'm setting these up to try and give myself the best chance, this is still considered gambling. There's still a house edge here, 47.5%, and so if you do the math, there's no way I come out on top if I do this thousands and thousands of rolls in a row, okay? There's a house edge. I'm going to lose some, okay? There's nothing I can do about that. So as always, I'm using the CryptoTab browser. It's a Google Chrome clone. It mines cryptocurrency for you in the background, and it pays you in Bitcoin. So you download it, install it, turn the mining function on, and then touch Cloud Boost just so it gives you a usable hash rate rather than whatever your computer comes with, and then you can start making money. You also get a bonus from all of your referrals. So that's why I'm trying to tell you guys about it, because if you sign up with my link, I'll get a bonus from you guys, and then if you guys sign up, then you'll also get a bonus from everyone who signs up under you, okay? So, but that's not what this video is about. I will put a link for CryptoTab in the description box below the video, by the way. Excuse me. Okay. So let's go ahead and get into this strategy. So this strategy is again, there's probably a real name for it. I came up with this strategy a couple minutes ago, so I'm sure somebody else has already come up with this before, but I don't know what the real name is. I'm using the Paroli strategy as the base and using Martingale as a way to cover myself and recoup my losses in very specific situations. So the point is not to use the Martingale. If I do not have to use the Martingale strategy, I will not use the Martingale strategy, okay? That is even more risky. Again, both of these are gambling. You're going to lose in the long run for both of these, but the Martingale can kill you quickly if you get a bad streak, okay? The Paroli strategy is not going to kill you quickly. You'd have to lose 2,557 cycles in a row in order for me to lose, okay? It might take longer to lose if I'm winning some of those cycles. So remember, so the base is the Paroli strategy, but I'm going to use the Martingale as a way to bail myself out if I lose 15 cycles consecutively, or more specifically, if I lose 15 cycles from my, so if I lose 15 Satoshi from my initial baseline. So the initial baseline is the amount I have starting out. I have 2657. So if this gets to 2652, then that means, 2642, then that means I'm using the Martingale strategy. I am going to use it as few times as possible to recoup that 15, and then I'm going right back to the Paroli, okay? And if it turns out that I get a win cycle and get 15 Paroli, 15 Satoshi, without losing that original 15 Satoshi, then that means I'm not doing the Martingale, okay? I'm only using it when I absolutely have to recoup my losses. That's the Martingale's power. You recoup losses with the Martingale entirely, plus you get 1 unit of profit. So in this case, I recoup what I lost plus 1 unit of profit. But that's all it can give you for profit is 1 unit. If I win 10 times outright with the Martingale, I'm only winning 10 Satoshi. Now, with the Paroli strategy, it does nothing to keep you from losing. However, as a byproduct of the strategy itself, the losses are so small that they don't really matter. Now, the wins, if I win 4 times in a row with the Paroli strategy, I'm getting 15 Satoshi, which is already more than what the Martingale gave me for 10 times in a row. Now, I'm only going to do 4 turn rounds, but if I won 5 times in a row, I'd be getting 31 Satoshi. If I won 6 times in a row, I'd be getting let's see, what would that be? 31, 264, what's that? I can't do math right now, my brain is fried. But anyway, you end up getting, the winning is much, much, much higher. If I were to win, 5 times in a row with Martingale, I win 5. If I win 5 times in a row with the Paroli, I win 31, okay? And it just gets bigger and bigger and bigger. So I'm going to use the Paroli as the base strategy. That's what I want, because I want to win, in theory. However, I'm going to use the Martingale as a way to cover myself and recoup my losses. Okay, let's get into it. So remember, there's 4 ways I can lose with the Paroli strategy, and 1 way I can win. This goes in cycles, okay? I'm going to be winning some rolls and losing some rolls, but the cycle is what's important. There are 5 different cycles. One of them is a win cycle. That's win, 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 win. 4 wins in a row is a win cycle. That's the only thing that counts as a win. I'm going to be winning individual rolls, but those don't count as a win unless they are 4 wins in a row, okay? Then there's the level 1 loss cycle, which is where I lose 1 roll outright. The very first roll in the cycle is a lose. Level 2 loss cycle is I win the first roll, I lose the second roll. Level 3 loss cycle, I win the first roll, I win the second roll, I lose the third roll. Level 4 loss cycle, I win the first roll, I win the second roll, I win the third roll, I lose the fourth roll, okay? So even though there are wins in all of those 4 cycles I just described are losses. They will end up in a net loss of 1 unit, so 1 Satoshi every single time. The only thing that counts as a win is 4 wins in a row, okay? So if I get 15 cycles lost in a row, I'm going to do the Martingale. Because it's not likely that I'm going to get level 1 losses, 15 losses straight in a row. That's not likely. But I can get 15 loss cycles in a row. Absolutely. That is what you see all the time. You get your butt kicked in the Paroli strategy. The point is, can you get those 4 wins in a row before you've lost 15 cycles in a row? Because if you can get it before then, you're going to have profit. If you get it at 15 cycles, you're going to break even. If you get it less than 15 cycles, even then, or it takes longer than 15 cycles lost to get it, then you're going to be losing money even when you win, okay? The wins are not going to be big enough to recoup the losses. That's why we're using Martingale to recoup the losses. Okay, I'm going to bet high this time. Okay, let's go. 1 Satoshi with the Paroli, you double it when you win. So I won, I'm going to double it to 2. We're assuming this is a win. Okay, so I just lost. That's a level 2 loss cycle. Won the first one, lost the second one. Okay, it's gone down by 1. I'm looking for 2642. Let's keep going. Okay, lost again. Level 1 loss cycle. Lost outright. Keep going. Again, another level 1. Lost outright. Okay, another level 1. Lost outright. So far I've lost 4 cycles in a row. Okay, won this one. Let's see. Lost this one. So I got a level 2 loss cycle, 3 level 1 loss cycles, and another level 2 loss cycle. Okay? So even though I've been winning some, I've lost all 5 of these cycles. So these are all losses. All of these are showing up as net losses. That's a level 1. Okay, won this one. Lost. That's a level 2. So all level 1 and level 2 loss cycles. Doesn't matter that I've won individual rolls. All of those are losses. Okay? Another level 1 loss cycle. Another level 1 loss cycle. Another level 1 loss cycle. Okay, I've won. Okay? Let's see. 1, 2 in a row. Let's see, this is going to be... Okay, so that was a level 3 loss cycle. Won the first one, won the second one, lost the third one. So that's still a loss. Those little rolls that I won, they don't count as wins, okay? Those are losses. See, I'm only 4 away from having to use the Martingale. Or actually, sorry, 3 away from having to use the Martingale. I hope I don't have to use it if I get my 4 wins in a row before then. Okay, ooh, it's starting to get close. So that was a level 1 loss. Okay, won this one. Lost this one. Okay, so that was a level 2 loss cycle. Won the first, lost the second. Lost this one. Won this one. Won this one. Lost this one. Okay, so I'm at 2, 4, 2, 2. So that was another level 3 loss cycle. Win the first, win the second, lost the third. So even though I had individual rolls that I won, all 15 of those cycles that we just did were losses, okay? I lost 15 times in a row. So I'm down from 2657 to 2642. It's time to use the Martingale strategy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my roll up to 16. So I've just lost 15 times in a row. I've lost 15 Satoshi, so I'm going to put it on 16 and bet high. If I win, I get 16 Satoshi, which recoups the 15 that I lost, plus gives me 1. That's the Martingale's power. If I lose this roll, that means I've lost 31 Satoshi, so then I'd have to bring it up to 32, which means if I won this roll, I would recoup the 31 that I lost, plus get 1. Okay, so that's Martingale's power. It's really good at recouping, but it sucks at actually giving you net income. Whereas the Paroli is good at giving you net increase, but it can't do anything about losing. And you lose a lot with the Paroli, because there's 5 opportunities, only 1 of them is considered a win. Okay, so 16, I'm going to bet high. Let's see if this is going to work. Whew. Oh, I won. Perfect. So let's look at this. So I only had to do it once. So every time you do the Martingale, you go right, and it's successful, you go right back to the Paroli, okay? You do not touch the Martingale with a 25.5-foot pole unless you have to. So I just won 16 Satoshi. So remember, I had lost 15 Satoshi because of those 15 in a row loss cycles. That means I recouped the 15 Satoshi, plus I won 1 Satoshi. So let's look. I'm at 2658. My initial baseline for this session was 2657. So all of that Satoshi I just bet, and I've only won 1. That's fine, because again, the point is I do not want to lose. Now, if we were betting tokens, and I've just bet 50 Satoshi in this little session, then I might have won, again, depending on how many Satoshi you have to bet to get a token, I might have won, 1 token, 2 tokens, 3 tokens. So I have basically bought 5 tokens without having to spend any money. So in this case, I recouped what I lost. Okay, that's all I'm going to do for right now. Again, this is still considered gambling, okay? It is still extremely risky, and if I were to do this for thousands upon thousands upon thousands of rolls, I would not be coming out ahead like I just did, okay? Eventually, it would come back to bite me. And hopefully, it would be the Paroli strategy that came back to bite me, and I would still have money in my bankroll. Hopefully, it wouldn't be the Martingale, because that would kill me. So remember, with this strategy, it's the Paroli strategy, but as a CYA, you do the Martingale strategy just to recoup your losses, and you only do it when you have to, okay? Only do it when it's 15 loss cycles in a row. And then if you do the Martingale strategy and win on the first try, you'll break even. And again, if you don't do it, you've got to double the roll, double the loss roll. See my first video about Martingale if you don't know how to do the Martingale strategy. See my second video about the Paroli strategy if you need help with that, although I did explain it just now. Thank you guys so much. Again, use this sparingly. Don't use it as a regular gambling strategy, because it's a gambling strategy. You're going to lose if you're, like on that site, I would eventually lose if I just kept using that one. But if I'm mining tokens, I'm minimizing my loss, and I'm mining the tokens. So I succeed in mining tokens, even though eventually there would be net losses with the strategy. Thank you guys so much. Have a wonderful day.